Hi, Dr. Pellegrini. As per your instructions, I'm uploading this presentation onto YouTube from the Eligibility Procedures in Special Ed, Florida and IDEA, the law. And my topic was hospital and homebound students. The federal definition, as per IDEA, for hospital and homebound students is a student who has a medically diagnosed physical or psychiatric condition, which is acute or catastrophic in nature, or a chronic illness or repeated intermittent illness due to a persistent medical problem that confines the student to home or hospital and restricts activities for an extended period of time. Now, the overview of how this ability will affect the child in school, his learning environment, is that the possibility of hospital and homeward bound services should be explored when it's anticipated a student will be absent from school for at least 15 school days or the equivalent, while under a physician's care because of severe, prolonged, or chronic illness. Now, who can determine this? It can be a parent, a teacher, a social worker, guidance counselor, physician, and others may initiate the process as soon as it is anticipated that the student will be absent for an unspecified duration of time. That he's got, in other words, that he's going to miss a lot of class. There's no established waiting period that must be met when initiating this process. It must be done as soon as possible. Now, what are the eligibility procedures involved in diagnosing and classifying a child for homeward bound and hospital? The referral for HH services may be initiated by a parent, physician, hospital, child, or child life specialist, or school personnel such as the principal, the guidance counselor, the teacher, social worker, nurse, or other agency. And what is the criteria that has to be met? And who can conduct such an evaluation? The minimum evaluation required to determine eligibility for a student being considered for HH services is an annual medical statement from a licensed physician, an advanced registered nurse practitioner, or a physician's assistant, PA, or a psychiatrist. However, a psychologist or counselor may not sign the medical statement for students referred to this program. The medical statement must include all of the following information: a description of disabling condition with any medical implications for instruction, a statement that the student is unable to attend school, a plan of treatment, recommendations regarding re-entry to school, and the estimated duration of the condition or a prognosis. And what special education services and related services are appropriate? When a general education student is found eligible for HH services, an IEP is developed. We all know what an IEP is. And for students with disabilities who have a current IEP and who have been determined to be eligible for these services, the IEP must be revised to reflect the services needed while on HH. Particular attention must be paid to the accommodations, modifications, assistive technology, and related services the student was receiving prior to the referral for HH services. Now, the accommodations may be instruction in a hospital, instruction in a psychiatric facility, instruction at home, or other settings, which are unique circumstances that may dictate the need for instruction to occur outside a hospital or home setting, elsewhere. Now, the districts must make such decisions on an individual basis. And following are acceptable instructional modes for students in the HH program. A, one-on-one instruction in the home or hospital. B, instructional grouping of certain students in a hospital or psychiatric facility. C, instructions through telecommunications or computer devices. Now, what kind of assistive technology do these students need? If a student enrolled in a public school has an IEP developed prior to enrollment in HH, then the student must be provided all technology and services stated in the IEP, unless the IEP team, upon placement in HH, decides differently. Now, IDEA, the Individuals with Disability Education Act, requires that all textbooks and materials be available to all students. Students with print disabilities may be eligible for books in accessible formats such as Braille, large print, or audio. Under existing copyright law, eligible students are unable to read, print, due to physical limitations, those with visual impairments, physical disabilities, and some with learning or reading disabilities, will be provided with access to materials derived from the National Instruction Materials Accessibility Standard. through the Florida Instructional Materials Center. Now, what signs, symptoms, and what are the teacher's duties that they should be aware of? Well, teachers should demonstrate broad knowledge of curriculum, assess each student's situation and factors affecting his performance, be sensitive to the stress that the student's illness may be causing the family as well as the student, evaluate the appropriateness of resources, apply knowledge of exceptional education, demonstrate positive interpersonal skills, provide a supportive environment, exhibit flexibility, confidentiality, follow district policies and procedures, which is very important, and be knowledgeable of current trends and best practices. And that concludes my presentation for hospital and homebound students. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pellegrini, and have a nice day.